Thank you for joining us again. Short message tonight again from Trinity God's Church of Christ. I want to talk about the tongue, and we're going to base this on primarily James chapters 1 and 3. James 1 and 19 and 26 from the NIV. It reads this way. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. 26 says, those who consider themselves religious and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. James, the 3rd chapter, 2 through 12. We all stumble in many ways. Anyone who's never at fault in what they say is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check. When we put bits in the mouth of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boast. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue is also a fire, whirl of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. With the tongue we praise our Lord and Father. With it we curse human beings who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers and sisters, can a fig tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. Now, if I will be honest with you, there was a time in my life when I thought I could say whatever I wanted. And I did. However, I've since come to realize that the tongue is one of the most powerful weapons given to mankind, and that I should become increasingly wise in how I use my tongue. If your lips would keep from slips, 5 things to observe with care, to whom you speak, of whom you speak, and how and when and where, from an unknown author. Many times I've gotten into trouble in life because of my words. A notice, I've never had to apologize for what I did not say. And how many of us have gotten in trouble for something we said or caused others troubles because of something we said? Or being in trouble or hurt someone because of something someone else has said. The prophet says God's ways are not our ways. His standards are not ours. And he calls us to live up to his standards. The first thing I want to tell you about is that silence is golden. Every believer, every child of God should be careful with her or his words. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Not paranoid or fearful, but careful, under control. Don't be in a hurry to share your opinion. Don't be quick with a quip. A believer's calling is not to be clever, sarcastic, or funny, but edifying, build up. Ephesians 4:29 says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. We have to be careful with our words. Secondly, silence is a symbol of wisdom. Proverbs 17:28 says, even a fool is thought wise if he keeps silent, and discerning if he holds his tongue. Proverbs 10:19 in the NAS says, when there are many words, transgression is unavoidable. But he who restrains his lips is wise. Someone has said that God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Therefore, we should listen twice as much as we speak. Silence is a symbol of wisdom. I must be careful with my words. And then an uncontrolled tongue is an indication of spiritual immaturity or unbelief. Those who consider themselves religious yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongue deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. In spite of outward appearances of spirituality, I go to church, I'm singing, I'm praying long, beautiful prayers. If you do not speak or sing in love, your spirituality is at a low level. Some folk are just quiet. They're not being silent. They're just quiet. They're just not talking. But being able to control your tongue is a symbol of spiritual maturity. An uncontrolled temper is likewise an indication of spiritual maturity or unbelief. Proverbs 29:11 said, a fool gives vent to his anger, but a wise man keeps himself under control. One version says, a fool tells all that is in his heart, but a wise man will wait. Ephesians 4:26, Paul tells us, in your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you're still angry. Your anger does not bring about the righteousness of God. So we talk about that silence is golden, and then the potential of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21 said, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Now, loving it means to responsibly handle it. Teaching. James 3:1 says, not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly. So teaching should not be taken lightly. One of the difficult duties of teachers is that they must use their tongues as instruments of righteousness. The teachers among us should be those who have indicated a certain maturity in their lives. Ephesians 4:29 says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edify, that is the minister grace unto the hearers. What are my words doing to those around me? Teachers use their words to minister grace. Spiritual teachers, biblical teachers use their words to minister grace and build up and strengthen those who hear them. You can do great good with your words. And the text tells us that the words of teachers will be judged more strictly. Every teacher, every preacher, every pastor, every leader, every prophetess must understand that we will be subject to a more severe judgment, not only by the public and others in church, but also the one who judges righteously. The Lord will judge us more strictly. Proverbs 15:1 said, the gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh tongue stirs up anger. You don't have to be always a thermometer in a room where you're measuring the temperature. You can be a thermostat where you set the temperature. And you can do that, my brothers and sisters, with your tongue. You have the ability, the wisdom, the power to set the temperature in every room you enter with your words of grace. James 3:9-12 says this: with the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse human beings who have been made in the very likeness of God. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing, my brothers and sisters. This should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers and sisters, can a fig tree bear olives or grapevine bear figs? Neither can salt spring produce fresh water. Psalms 39:1 makes me look at myself in the mirror, and perhaps you will too. It says, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle while the wicked is before me. I've got to be careful with my tongue, especially, and this is going to throw you for a loop, around those who don't know the Lord. Yes, we need to be careful when we're around each other, but especially around those who don't know the Lord. This text says, as we witness to our families and friends and associates, use words wisely. We have the potential to do great in the lives of others by our words. In closing, words are like nails driven into a board. Even if you pull them out, they will leave the wood wounded and scarred. It is even true of Jesus as he was taken to Calvary to be crucified, that he said not a word. Not that he did not speak, for we have recorded words that he said on the cross, but he only said what God told him to say. Jesus was quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Are you?